Recent IELTS Writing Task 2 questions. Hello there students, my name is Ben Worthington. In this tutorial we are going to go through all 10 of the Writing Task 2 questions we have seen online, posted by students and sent in by our own students who are taking the exam and passing band 7, 8 and 9, and they send me the questions that they're answering as well. Alright, if this is your first time listening to IELTS Podcast, well done you, for two reasons. One, you found one of the best places online to accelerate your IELTS knowledge and accelerate the time that it's going to take you to pass. You'll find out very soon that our tutorials are very practical and very matter of fact. Second, well done you for deciding to take the IELTS exam, for taking this path. This is not an easy path. It's a frustrating one for quite a few students. There's a lot of information out there, a lot of contradictions, and as I said in previous tutorials, most smart IELTS students in 2023 are using tools, not information, to pass. I'll talk more about that later. Let's do the first 5 questions really quick. I'm just going to give you ideas, essay plans. From there, if you've got a framework you can use, you can drop these ideas into the framework. If you do not have a framework, then do not worry. I'll talk more about that later on. So let's go. Some people think that government should support artists like painters, musicians and poets, while others believe this wastes money. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. Now, automatically, from having written hundreds of essays and read thousands of IELTS Task 2 questions, I knew as soon as I saw that conjunction, while others, I was like, okay, body paragraph 1 is the government should support artists such as painters, musicians and poets. Body paragraph 2, this is a waste of money. Simple as. The government should support artists like painters, musicians and poets because they bring creativity into the society. It's harder for for them to support themselves. Third reason, I don't know. I'll just go with those two, develop the second one. It's harder to support themselves. If they could support themselves, they could probably bring a lot of benefits to society. For example, if a musician was permitted the free time to work on his music rather than work in a fast food restaurant or whatever, his music could benefit and possibly inspire a lot of citizens. Okay, there's just a basic outline. The important takeaway there is that we developed it and we used hypothetical arguments. Others believe this wastes money. Body paragraph 2. This definitely wastes money because they are not productive assets for the economy. Ouch. By the way, that's not my personal belief. None of this is my personal belief. My personal beliefs are left at the door. Why did I leave them at the door? Because this is a language exam. It's not what I actually believe. This is just a language exam. Communication. I'm going to go for simple ideas that are easy to communicate. I'm not going to go with my personal beliefs that might be more complex, that might be more nuanced, that will definitely be more difficult to explain. So I'm just going to go with the basic one. Okay? This definitely wastes money. Musicians and poets do not produce enough money for the economy. They do not produce enough taxes. And then I would develop that further with another hypothetical example. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Question 2. Early technology developments brought more benefits and changed the lives of ordinary people. Probably body paragraph 1. More than recent developments ever will. Probably body paragraph 2. Okay, to what extent do you agree or disagree? So, early technological developments brought more benefits and changed the lives of ordinary people? Yes, definitely. Vaccines made us live longer. Television brought mass media. Steam train decreased distances. And technological developments after that were mere improvements rather than revolutions. Okay, so that's body paragraph 1. More than recent developments ever will. Let's see. So I fully agree. Okay, and I talked about the past in the first body paragraph, the steam engine, the steam train, distances, and vaccines. And now in my second paragraph, I'm going to talk more about recent developments. And I'll use a synonym, but for now, just for brevity's sake, I will say recent developments such as social media and blockchain and even the internet did not have as big an impact or as significant impact as the steam trains. If the internet had not been invented, life would not be as dramatically different without it. Okay? Again, this is not my personal belief, but it's just in my opinion, a straightforward argument. I try to use the hypothetical again, and then I would develop it further, saying the internet has not had as bigger impact as steam train and the Industrial Revolution, for example. There we go. By the way, the smart ones among you will have noticed I am completely missing introductions and conclusions. I'm doing this on purpose. I'm doing this because when you are in the exam, this is the way you want to be doing it. You want to be reading the question and immediately thinking of ideas for body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2. Once you've got those ideas, then you start thinking about the conclusion and the introduction. And in most cases, they're going to be broadly similar. I'd say maybe like 60% similar, introducing the topic and then closing the topic. Question 3. Although countries with long average working hours are economically successful, this often has some negative social consequences. To what extent do you agree or disagree? I very much agree with this. It's the easiest one to go with. It's straightforward. You work long hours. Let's see. Although countries with long working hours are economically successful, this often has some negative social consequences. Okay, so I strongly agree with this. Countries with long working hours are economically successful. The negative social consequences range from stress to less family time, to less, less family time, less social time. These possibly have negative consequences for society. That's maybe body paragraph 1. Body paragraph 2. Although countries with I'm going to say, even though there are these negative social consequences, the extra money earned through these longer hours often more than compensates. It allows the governments to set up social safety nets and allows the government to provide nurseries and kindergarten and extra services to help parents manage their careers. Okay, so there we go. I'm just saying, that's my plan for this essay. Again, is it my personal belief? Nah, probably not. But it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to go for the most straightforward, easy to explain. Question 4. These days, more and more people are going to other countries for a significant period of time, either to find a job or study. There are clearly many benefits to doing this, but people who live abroad can also face some difficulties. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of working in a foreign country. Give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. Wow, this is an advantage, disadvantage. Advantages of body paragraph 1. Advantages of living abroad. Arbitrage. Arbitrage is when you capitalize on differences between different regions. So you could be earning in euros, but you're spending in a weaker currency such as zlotys or forint, and your money goes further. So these are expressions we probably want to include. So body paragraph 1, I'm going to talk about the advantages, saying it's a lower cost of living, especially if you're earning in the West and spending in the East, for example. This is also the case in Asia, not just Europe. So you can also see new things. Now, I'm saying things because this is just sort of like a plan. I would never use the word things in my essay. Say, I would get exposure to new culture. I wouldn't say I'd say the remote worker can get exposure to new cultures, new sites, new food, new cuisine. Probably just edit food out. So that would roughly be body paragraph 1, the advantages. Then the disadvantages are it could be difficult to settle in a routine if every day you're working in a new environment. 2, you're going to miss your friends and family from back home. And as we might well know, as you get older, it gets harder to start making friends. It's not as easy as when we were younger. Thirdly, I don't know. I probably don't need more reasons there. I could just carry on developing 1 or 2 of those previous ideas. So that's a rough plan for question number 4. Number 5. Nowadays, online shopping is extremely popular. Discuss the impact of it on the environment and on the people who lost their jobs because of it. Very interesting. I haven't seen a question like that for a long time. Impact on the environment. What impact does online shopping have on the environment? Well, the goods are getting delivered, so there's probably more pollution. The goods need extra packaging because they're no longer in the stores. So again, that's negative for the environment, more packaging waste. Now, I've got 2 ideas there. I'm just going to develop one of them. If all shopping goes online, there would be an exponential boom in packaging waste for the society to take care of. It might even be necessary for the government to regulate. I don't know if I would develop it that far, actually. I might develop it in a way of employment, just to keep more on topic. Body paragraph 2. What is the impact of online shopping and the people who lost their jobs because of it? Let's see. So people are, I guess retail positions would lose their job, especially if it continues to grow. Retail people would lose their jobs if it continues to grow. This could have dire consequences for the society because there could be mass unemployment. However, some of these workers might be able to gain jobs as delivery workers. However, this might be a conflict of skills because they might have excellent customer service skills, which are not really needed when driving a truck. I don't know. I need to refine it, but this is just like a raw output of ideas. When you join our online course, we give you the system for you to organize these ideas, and we give you the system to generate these ideas, and it becomes so much more straightforward. But the key point is when you see that question, you want to know exactly what to do. And that's what the system helps you to do. I developed this system because I've been teaching IELTS now for well over 10 years. I was frustrated, I was lost. That's why I set up IELTS Podcast, because I needed guidance. I started interviewing all the experts I could find. I tested what they said on my students, and if it worked, it went into the online course. If it didn't, out it went, and I carried on looking for that, the key information, the key points, the key frameworks that are going to help a student pass the exam fast. Nowadays, question 7. Nowadays, most children prefer to spend hours playing with electronic devices over doing more traditional leisure activities. What problem does this cause? What do you think are possible solutions? Several hours playing electronic devices, obesity, anxiety. Actually, I would connect those and I would develop it. It could lead to an unhealthy lifestyle, which would lead possibly to obesity, which could lead then to mental problems due to the lack of confidence often associated with being overweight and out of shape. Possibly. I don't know if that's true. Like I said, it sounds reasonable, sounds believable. I'm not an expert on obesity, and it's not even my personal belief, as I said before. It's just a logical, rational argument that's reasonable, that's believable, is viable, and as you just heard, it's quite easy to explain. Rather, overdoing more traditional leisure activities. What problems does this cause? I just mentioned. What do you think are the possible solutions? Fat camp? No. The possible solutions would be, I would say it lies with the parents, because they are the ones responsible for regulating this time. And I guess maybe the government should be responsible in educating the parents, who should in turn regulate or encourage or instruct their own children to behave more responsibly when it comes to electronic devices. Okay, possible solutions. Yeah, the government, the parents, standard solutions usually come from the government. It's just easier to explain. It is believed that school children should study international news as one of their school subjects. That would probably help a lot of IELTS students, in all fairness. It'll help a lot of IELTS students come up with ideas. Anyway, others think that it is a waste of valuable school time. Discuss both views and give your opinion. Excellent. Being an IELTS student, I definitely think this should be necessary. So secondary school children should definitely study international news, because it will give them an overview of international events. It might help them understand people better because they understand their situation, and it can even help with high stakes English exams, which are popular in the East for getting into academic institutions in the West, for example. Okay, just off the top of my head. It's quite believable reasons. Others think it's a waste of valuable school time. It's not. Actually, I'm not going to say it's not a waste of valuable school time. You know why? Because I would just be contradicting. I'd just be saying the same arguments as I just said. So in this case, I'm probably going to go with, yes, it's definitely a waste of school time in my second body paragraph, because the students could be learning more practical subjects such as the STEM subjects. Got to get that in, get some points for the vocabulary. STEM subjects, which is science, technology, I can't even remember the STEM subjects anyway, which are far more practical and equip a student for a career. For example, if a student is going for an engineering position in their future career, and they have 1 year of international news studies versus a student who has an additional year of advanced mathematics, it is probably safe to say the student with the deeper mathematics knowledge would get the job. Just off the top of my head. Okay? Look, I'm not an engineering professional, I'm not a career professional, but these answers are reasonable, they're logical, they're believable, and that's fine for IELTS. That's all we need. Question 9. Some people think it's better to choose friends who always have the same opinions as them. Other people believe it's good to have friends who sometimes disagree with them. Discuss both these views and give your own opinion. Now, you may have heard me smile because a person came instantly to mind when I read that. And he came to mind because I was telling my wife about him the other day, and I say, I hate this guy. He just agrees with me, and it's annoying. Anything I say, he agrees and he thinks it's amazing. And she was like, "That's strange." And I was like, "Yeah, I prefer Mark, who always, not always, but disagrees with me, but gives reasons, and sometimes agrees with me. It's like a more independent thinker, not someone who just says, 'Yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right.'" Anyway, that's a very good example of getting distracted. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to write about your personal friends. You need to just take it up another level. Zoom out of this. It's not about you. It's not your personal situation. Let's go. So discuss both these views and give your own opinion. Okay, so friends who have the same opinion can encourage you, can boost your confidence, are especially good if you are maybe weak or anxious. For example, if a person always doubted themselves and their plans and their career plans, then a person who agree with them could in effect be their personal cheerleader and encourage them to reach goals that they could never attain beforehand. Okay? Now, as you just heard me say, this is not my personal belief. Okay? However, I'm just trying to look at it from a different point of view so that I can score band 7, 8, or 9, and so I can get to Australia, the UK, USA, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, wherever I'm intending to go, wherever I want to go. So I'm just going to, as I said, just pull myself out of this and just give some reasonable arguments. Other people believe it's good to have friends who sometimes disagree with them. Okay, it's definitely valuable to have this type of friends because they will show you other sides of the coin that you may have missed. They will challenge you to think in different ways, and they should open up your worldview to other perspectives. Now, lots of valid ideas there. Choose one, develop it, run with it, always hedge it, and you're on the right track. Number 10, fast food is a part of life in many places. Some people think this has bad effects on lifestyle and diets. Do you agree or disagree? Yeah, I completely... Let me think. Fast food is a part of life in many places. Some people think it has bad effects on lifestyle and diets. Do you agree or disagree? I completely agree. It definitely has bad effects on lifestyle and diets. I mean, personally, I don't think fast food's a problem. Fast food's a problem if you go in there 5 times a day. But if you've got any intelligence, you probably just go maybe once a week or, I don't know, once a day under the circumstances. But it's not about me. It's not about my personal thoughts. I'm going to just go with the general narrative here. Fast food is bad. So I agree. Fast food is part of life in many places, and it has definitely a negative impact on people's lifestyle. This is because, one, obesity, cholesterol, and then I would just develop it the same way I developed it earlier. Could have negative effects, eventually leading to negative mental effects, not just physical effects, so on and so forth. Body paragraph 2, it's definitely a part of life in many places due to the circumstances people find themselves in. These could be economic circumstances because fast food is sometimes cheaper in certain places, so they don't have many options, despite the bad effects it has. However, I'm just going to go in addition. Getting accustomed to fast food lifestyle will steal you of the opportunity to learn how to cook, which has numerous advantages, and then maybe develop that. Okay, these are just rough ideas. Once you've got a system, you can start to select them, you can start to identify which ones you want to develop, and the whole process gets a lot easier. Now, if you're looking for a system or a framework, if you're looking for tools to pass the IELTS exam quickly, then go to IELTSPodcast.com, sign up there, leave your email, and we'll be sending you a ton of help. That's it from me today. If you've got a friend who's struggling with the IELTS, please send them this tutorial, send them this podcast, all the answers for the writing questions. I mean, not all of them, but all the answers for the questions we've seen in one tutorial in 26 minutes. That's gold, in my honest opinion. I would have loved this if I was preparing for that IELTS exam, and that's what I'm trying to do, just deliver value. Last thing, if you like this tutorial, please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, on Spotify, wherever you're listening. I would be very grateful. Send a screenshot of the review you've written and we'll reward you. We'll definitely help you out afterwards. Again, second time, it's my goodbye. Have a super day. I wish you all the best, and you've got my complete admiration in taking this path, in bettering your life, in getting to Australia, getting to the UK, getting to Canada. You can do this. Keep moving forward. You will get there. All the best. Bye-bye.